Hi, I'm John Milewski, the host of Dialogue, and I'm joining you from the set of Dialogue at the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars, where I've just conducted a discussion with Rob Buchanan and Joan Dassin about their work in the world of grant-giving organizations. And first I want to introduce you to Joan Dassin, who represents the International Fellowship Program of the Ford Foundation. And Joan, tell us a bit about your work.
This is a decade-long program to provide scholarship opportunities for leaders in developing countries, people who themselves come from vulnerable, marginalized communities, to pursue graduate studies in any country in the world in a range of fields that are critical for development.
And the idea here is that higher education is a path to long-term change.
Higher education, in our view, has the direct connection to development because trained people in their home countries who care about the problems that affect the most vulnerable communities are going to be the long-term solution to those problems.
Rob Buchanan joins us from the El-Hibri Charitable Foundation. New to that position, recently he was also at the Council on Foundations, so he has a broad perspective on these matters. And Rob, let me begin by asking you a bit about your new position and what the work you're doing there.
Well, the El-Hibri Charitable Foundation is a U.S.-based private family foundation with deep roots in Lebanon, in the Middle East, but with worldwide business interests. And the family has decided that they want the foundation to promote the core values of Islam, charity, social justice, civic responsibility, peace. And so they've decided to fund a number of sort of peace education programs. We're working with American University and some other universities on that. We're working with a group that focuses on Muslim women's legal issues in the United States and around the world. We're doing some charitable work with children's organizations in Lebanon. We're looking at a number of other possibilities. The foundation is less than 10 years old, so we're still thinking about what the path is going to be for the foundation going forward, and that will be part of my role working with the board to figure that out.
You know, one of the things we were discussing when the cameras weren't rolling is this concept of whether it's appropriate to frame your work under the banner of this notion of soft power, which originally was a foreign policy U.S. government type terminology, but in many ways it's expanded to include all the ways that countries influence the course of human history, essentially. Mm-hmm. Talk a bit about that, how you view your work in that broader context. What category would you put it into?
In the sense that international education involves contact between and among people in different countries, certainly it is an effort to work outside of the strictly political realm, and to promote educational and cultural exchanges has always been part of U.S. foreign policy as well as the foreign policies of many countries around the world. And we know that this produces enduring relationships among people, and ultimately the people-to-people contact helps to improve cooperation and coordination among countries. So in that sense, yes, there is a connection, although we would make a distinction between privately funded work and work that is funded by the U.S. or another government.
But the politics don't go away, and whether you're thinking politically or not, you've got some issues.
That's for sure, John. And I think one of the reasons why this sort of private people power, the use of private philanthropic resources coming from the American people, from their citizens, not through the government, but through the citizens directly, and using that around the world has helped to improve the image of the United States in many countries around the world. People in other countries have often said, and particularly in the last 10-year period, we don't particularly like the policies of the United States government, but we like the American people because they're so generous, because they're funding this program in our community or that program, and we really appreciate that. So I think it's helped to build the reputation and a positive image for the United States around the world. Politics comes and goes, it shifts, it changes all the time, but I think the image that we're building of the American people as a very generous and caring people, passionate for issues around the world and global challenges, I think this is very important. It's important for our government.
Rob, Joan, thank you for your time and also for your great work. And if you'd like to learn more about the specific programs that Joan and Rob represent, and also hear a longer interview, a 30-minute interview with them, go to our website, www.wilsoncenter.org. And if you look at the upper right-hand part of the screen, you'll see a little tab that says Dialogue. Click on that and you can see the entire program. Thanks.